Hey guys, and welcome back to Cooking with Ro. Today is another fancy recipe for your next date or celebration: lamb chops with mint applesauce. This recipe takes quite a bit of prep, so it's best to do this the night before the day. I'm also going to be leaving a few helpful links at the description box below. And be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. Let's get to it. For this, we're going to need lamb chops. I purchased these loin lamb chops at a local farm. Make sure they're room temperature, and while it is an optional step, I also pat them dry with a paper towel. This is because dry meat browns better. Herbs. We'll be using a cup blend of fresh rosemary, thyme, and oregano for the marinade. Several cloves of garlic, also for the marinade. Sea salt or kosher salt and pepper. Cooking oil. I like to use my trusty Sun Cocoa Oil blend. And for the accompanying garnish of mint applesauce, we're gonna need a half a cup of fresh mint leaves, 1 Granny Smith apple, and 1 fresh lemon. All right, let's commence. With our pat-dried chops, we're going to season both sides with sea salt and cracked black pepper. Be sure to press these seasonings into the meat. And naturally, use this opportunity to have a Salt Bae moment. Next, we get our marinade together. We're going to mince our garlic. I have 8 lamb chops, so I used 6 large cloves of garlic. And you'll see, I used all of them. Once they're minced, place them into a small bowl. Next, we dice the thyme. Thyme is a little tricky. While it's not harmful to eat the stems, once they turn brown and thicken, they can be usually quite annoying, so it's best to cut the leaves out of the stems. Next is the rosemary. For these, we're going to remove the leaves from the stems, loosely chop them, or leave them whole if they're small enough. Afterwards, we use the oregano. Now again, we're only using the leaves, and chop them. Lastly, add in your oil into the bowl. I eyeball it so it's oily enough to coat the ingredients with some excess. Now that we have our marinade ready, it's time to coat both sides of our lamb chops. Now for a little bit of lamb history. The word lamb comes from the German Lambis. As early as 10,000 years ago in Central Asia, man discovered that the sheep was a good source of not only food, but also clothing. Sheep have long been a dietary staple as well as a textile source in Asia, Europe, the Middle East, Australia, and New Zealand. Lambs were once associated with ritual sacrifice in these regions of the world. The best lamb chops come from the loin, rib, and sirloin. These lamb chops are tender, easy to cook, and evenly textured. A sheep in its first year is a lamb, and its meat is also called lamb. A sheep in its second year, its meat is called hogget. Older sheep meat is called mutton. Generally, hogget and mutton are not used by consumers outside of New Zealand and Australia, and it's only within the industry. And now for the technique of Frenching. Rack of lamb is often French trimmed, also known as Frenching in the United States. That is, the rib bones are exposed by cutting off the fat and meat covering them. After we coat both sides, we're going to place them into a deep dish pan. Cover it with cellophane or an aluminum foil and stick it in the refrigerator to marinate. The longer you marinate, the better, as these meats soak in the flavors. For tonight though, I left it in there for 90 minutes, but you can marinate it for as short as 30 minutes to overnight easily. Now that we have those lamb chops marinating, let's make the mint applesauce to pair with the dish. Let's take our Granny Smith apple, core it, and quarter it. Place them out into a blender with our mint leaves and lemon juice. Lastly, Add some oil to help stabilize the sauce. Blend it until smooth. Get it into a small jar and store it into the refrigerator until ready to serve. Once our lamb chops have marinated, let's take them out of the fridge and get out a large pan. It's best to get a cast iron pan, but for this, I'm using my trusty nonstick. Oil your pan and set the heat to medium-high. Place your lamb chops onto the pan. Lamb chops cook quickly compared to other meats, so for a medium well finish, you'll want to cook each side roughly 3 to 4 minutes. Tip: I like to sear the fatty sides before I serve them. Using tongs, I press the fatty sides to the pan in high heat. Once they're cooked to your liking and seared, plate your lamb chops and garnish with the mint applesauce. The combination of the savory herb and garlic lamb chops pairs so well with the refreshing and tangy mint applesauce. It's a combo well worth the effort to try. And this concludes today's video. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe for more tastier recipes and upcoming spooky episodes for the month of October. You can also follow me on social media at Alquatica for more behind the scenes fun and sneak peeks of the next videos. And as always, leave a comment down below on what you would like to be featured in a future video. See you next time. Ciao.